Good morning, students. Welcome to offline classes for 8th standard. So we are discussing the chapter called Coal and Petroleum. So in previous part 2 we have discussed about one of the natural resource, that is exhaustible natural resource, that is about coal. We have discussed in detail, and about their different types also we have discussed in detail in previous part 2, and today's part 3 we are going to discuss about petroleum. So what is this petroleum, how we get petroleum? So as we know that we will run our vehicles like bike, car and motorcycles we are running. So there is a fuel is used inside it to run the vehicles. So that what kind of the fuel you are using, that is what the petrol. And if you run the heavy vehicles like bus or lorry or some heavy vehicles, if you want to run again, you are using that one more kind of the fuel called diesel. So the petrol is used as a fuel in light automobiles such as motorcycles or scooters and cars. Heavy motor vehicles like trucks and tractors run on diesel. The petrol and diesel are obtained from a natural resource called petroleum. So petroleum is one of the raw material for the petrol and the diesel, and even you are using kerosene. So kerosene, petrol, diesel, these are all what we get from the raw material called petroleum. Okay, so if we go to the next one, how will we get, how formation of petroleum takes place? The petroleum was formed by the organisms living in the sea. So here the organisms which live in the sea, maybe plants or animals, when they are living in the sea, by them we get water petroleum. How? So when the organisms which live in the sea, when they get die, or as these organisms die, their bodies settles at the bottom of the sea and got converted with layers of sand and clay. So what happens when they get die? They goes to the bottom of the sea, and they are going to convert into water layers of sand and clay. So they will mix with the sand and clay in the under the bottom of a sea. Over millions of years later, absence of air and high temperature and high pressure transferred the dead organisms into petroleum and natural gas. So when these animals and the plants, when they die, they buried it, or when it goes to the bottom of the sea, over millions of later, what happens? Those dead parts of the plant and animal, they are going to convert into water, petroleum and natural gas. Due to what? There is no air, and due to high temperature, the high pressure, those dead parts going to convert into water, petroleum and natural gas. Okay. So next one. So this is how it looks like. So here the sea, under the bottom of the sea. So what happened? So from this, the petroleum which is generated under the bottom of the sea, they can be lifted by using different kind of machines and all. Okay, so this is how the natural gas and the petroleum is obtained. So next, if you go to the refining of petroleum. So petroleum is a dark oily liquid, is as an unpleasant odor. It is a mixture of various constituents such as petroleum gas, petrol, diesel, lubricant oil, paraffin wax, and etc. So petroleum, it is not a simple, it is a mixture of many number of other substances. And if the petroleum, usually it is dark oily in nature, and it is having some unpleasant smell. What means what smell? So what it contains? It contains what? It is a mixture of water, petroleum gas, petrol, diesel, lubricant oil, and paraffin wax. Next, the process of separating the various constituents, fractions of petroleum, is known as refining. Then what is refining of petroleum? So here, whatever the constituents which are present in the petroleum, they are separated by the different methods. Such kind of process what we call a refining. The process of separating the various constituents. Various constituents, what is that? Petroleum gas, petrol, diesel, lubricant oil, and paraffin. So these constituents are getting separated by the petroleum, by fractions of petroleum, is called also refining. It is carried out in a petroleum refineries. So in the petroleum refineries, what they do, they will separate the constituents of petroleum. Next up, if you go to the various constituents of petrol and their uses. So these are the constituents of petroleum and their uses. Already you know that. So liquid petroleum gas (LPG) we are using in the fuel at home and industry. We will run the gas cylinder what you are using for cooking of your food. What you are using, the cylinder what you are using. So where the cylinder is running or the gas, the flame is coming out from the gas because of water, LPG. The petrol, already you know that to run the vehicles. The kerosene, it is also used for stoves and lamps and the aircrafts. And diesel is used to run the heavy vehicles. Lubricant oil is used for lubrication, and paraffin wax is used for preparing of ointments, candles, vaselines and all. The next bitumen is used for paints and road surfacing. So these are bitumen means we are, as you know that the tar, damper what we see. So it is what used it. And lubricant as you see that the grease what we call the grease is also. So these are the constituents of petrol and their uses. The next one, if you go to the next topic of the chapter, that is natural gas. What is natural gas? This is also one kind of it is also we get from the water under the sea. The natural gas is very important fossil fuel because it is easy to transfer through pipes. So it is also one of the natural resource, and it is very useful when compared to the petroleum because we can transfer this gas by using pipes. Natural gas is also used as starting material for the manufacture of number of chemicals and fertilizers. So by using of natural gas we can manufacture number of chemicals and fertilizers. In India, the natural gas has been found in Tripura, Rajasthan, Maharashtra and in the Krishna Godavari Delta. So even the natural gas in our India we are getting in different kind of places called Tripura, Rajasthan, Maharashtra and in the Krishna of Kaveri Delta. Sorry, Godavari Delta, there we are getting natural gases. So next one, if we go to the petroleum conservation. So as you know that petroleum is what? Exhaustible natural resources. So if you use continuously one another day, it is going to be exhaust and it is going to be loose. So that we need to conserve them for the next generation. So otherwise what happens, once it is got exhaust, once it is got over, we won't get back. So we need to wait another thousands, millions of years to get water, petroleum. So that as much as possible, we have to conserve the petroleum. So how can we do it? In India, the Petroleum Conservation Research Association advises people how to save petrol or diesel while driving and their tips. So there is a board, there is an association called Petroleum Conservation Research Association in India. So they used to create awareness among the people how to save petrol and diesel. So you people are also follow many ways the people are wasting your petrol and diesels. So what kind of tips they have given? So driver at a constant and moderate speed as far as possible. So here, whenever you people are riding your bike or car or any other vehicles, you have to maintain water. You should not supposed to go too faster or too slower. You have to go in a moderate speed, so that when you follow this, you can save some amount of these petroleum. The next one, switch off the engine at the traffic lights and at a place where you have to wait. So for example, if you go to the metropolitan cities, there is number of traffic signals. So there you have to stop your vehicle. So until it gives a green signal you need to wait. So when you are waiting for the green signal, you should turn off your vehicle instead of continuous off on, because they, if you continuously switch on the vehicles, what happen, then there is a lose of unnecessarily, what happen, the petrol and diesel getting wasted, so getting waste, so that you have to switch up the your vehicles till you get the green signal to move. So by this way, at least you can save some amount of petroleum. The next one, ensure correct tire pressure. So and in your vehicles, you have to maintain the correct pressure inside, correct pressure into the tire. The next, ensure regular maintenance of your vehicles. So you might be see that, so number of vehicles, they used to do water more smoke from the vehicles, like blackish smoke. So why? Because of there is a problem in engine. So all the time you have to ensure that whether the engine works properly or not, and how much it is consuming the petroleum. You should keep checking this. So you have to maintain your engine in a proper way, so that what happen, you can reduce the wastage of this petroleum. So as much as possible, you have to conserve the natural resources. And one more thing is, whenever if you want to go from one place to another place, better you have to use the public transport vehicles. So instead of going in your own vehicle, better use public transport vehicles, so that you can reduce the unnecessary wastage of petroleum. In the same way, whenever you want to go from one place to other, from houses to purchase some goods from the market, if it is very nearer to your houses, better you can go by using your legs, by walk, or by using cycles. You can go and purchase the things. So all the time, if you are carrying bike to bring the goods from the market, what happens? There is also some way of wastage of the petrol is going to take place. So as much as possible, you have to try to stop wastage of water, the petroleum, and save the petroleum for the upcoming generation. If not, what happens? It is going to exhaust. Once it exhausts, we can't able to get back the petroleum. So that we have to reduce the wastage of petroleum. Okay. Next, so this is by following these methods, you can able to reduce the petroleum. Otherwise, you are going the petroleum is going to exhaust. Once it is exhaust, we can't get back. And even being educated people, you have to create the awareness among the people who are wasting the natural water sources like petroleum and all. Okay, so this comes to the end of the chapter called coal and petroleum. In the next class, we discuss another important chapter from the science part. Okay, thank you.